harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think that children...
I don't accept the premise of your question.
I'm asking
the government's not putting children in harm's way. Trinidad Aragua...
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
they're the ones putting children in harm's way.
In this country, we have rights against searches and illegal
you're suggesting
searches
these children should be effectively human shields for Trinidad Aragua, and I don't agree with
what I'm asking... hold on, I want to make it... The second thing is that they were all black. And I'm going to say something. We saw this coming. We knew the neighborhoods where these ICE raids would take place.
Children, and you arrest and detain everyone. Scott, hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here, okay?
And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip-tied and carried out like animals. What I am wondering is...
Should children be treated that way? Does Scott Jennings like that?
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate.
Hello, everybody. Guys, I just want to say I feel bad that black people are being caught up in what's clearly Hispanic affairs with this whole ICE things, that those black kids being tied up, they've gone too far. Let's get into this segment and we'll talk about it.
Trump wanted American cities to be training grounds, and ICE listened. In Chicago, in the middle of the night, federal agents stormed an apartment building. Black Hawk helicopters, flashbangs, military-style trucks, all used in the raid. Now, witnesses say everyone was detained, no matter their status. Children were zip-tied together, separated from their parents. And the feds say that they arrested dozens of gang members. Also in the city, Charlie Kirk's group was given a front-row seat to a raid inside a Walmart.
Amazing. Secretary Noem was here. They rolled up a couple of guys, and it's rowdy. There's a lot of people around. Everyone's filming. The Secretary of Homeland Security is right now doing raids at Walmart.
What the F is even there?
So, as forewarned, I mean, we have a situation in which American cities are at the center of this ICE crackdown, and there's indiscriminate use of force against Americans, non-Americans, people here legally, people here illegally. And on the right, nobody seems to care. In fact, they love it.
I saw a video from a local station in Chicago, and residents of a community there were describing an ICE raid and like what they saw. Two things struck me. One, they were talking about things that happened to them. They were talking about how they were treated in this ICE raid. These are the people that, I guess, by virtue of being born here in America, are entitled to being treated like human beings. The second thing is that they were all black. And I'm gonna say something, we saw this coming. We knew the neighborhoods where these ICE raids would take place. We knew that a lot of these things wouldn't happen in Beverly Hills or in Coconut Grove or any of those places like that. We knew that there would be collateral damage, that there would be trauma that would be inflicted on our communities. We knew that people would be detained, scared. We knew that children would have to see things that they shouldn't have to see. And all of this for political theater so that we look tough on immigration for everyone. It's a horror show. And I do think if it hasn't already happened, that it'll be something that even the most conservative of Americans will get tired of seeing human beings treated this way. At least that's my hope.
Sorry to say, Van, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one.
The one neighbor said the kids were crying. They looked very distraught. I was out there crying when I seen the little girl come around the corner because they were bringing kids down too, had them zip tied to each other. Saying that there were trucks, military-style vans used to separate adults from kids. What's going on?
I haven't seen any of this, so I certainly am not aware of particular neighborhoods that are targeted. Obviously, I support them finding and arresting people who are here illegally. And in the community they're in, again, I can't justify, I haven't seen which communities that they're targeting.
Well, one detail that's been left out is that they were
Shut the hell up, Scott. And can you guess the communities that they're targeting? Like, again, I can't help but point this out, but this is not a mistake. How are all the kids that were zip-tied black and you couldn't tell they were American born? That's just impossible. I would assume they speak English and only English. Like, what the hell is going on here? You can't tell the difference? from Hispanics that would likely have a thick accent to a black American? That's just bullshit to me. This was done on effing purpose. They terrorized those black kids on effing purpose. Like, another thing that is just glaring at me, these are kids. What threat do they pose? You couldn't have a couple officers just watching over them? Like, even if that's already, like, I'm not even sure that's necessary. Zip tied? Like, what the hell was that needed for?
Targeting Tren de Aragua. And so Tren de Aragua is a violent transnational gang. They send illegal immigrants here to the United States. They traffic drugs, they traffic people, they commit violence. They inflict misery everywhere they go. And 37 people were arrested. That was the purpose of the raid, the targeting of Tren de Aragua, some of the most violent people in our hemisphere. And when they come here, nothing good happens. That was
okay,
the point.
so if it was targeting, I don't think anybody has a problem with targeting. Right. When you clear out an apartment building and you zip tie children and you arrest and detain everyone. Scott, hold on, Scott. You and me, we're talking here, okay? If they arrest children, they arrest everyone, citizens and non-citizens, for hours, detain them, deprive them of their liberty, for no matter how long. You are fine with that.
They didn't arrest children, but...
I didn't say they arrested them. They put them in zip ties. But if that makes a difference to you, go ahead.
Here's what makes a difference to me. If the federal government knows that there is a nest of Tren de Aragua in a city like Chicago, they have a responsibility. They have an obligation to go get them. It is unfortunate, to answer your question, that there are children put in harm's way by these violent gangs. But that is going to be the reality.
Or is it unfortunate, or is it a violation of their rights, is the question? Because, I mean, in this country, we have rights against searches and illegal searches and
you're suggesting these children should be effectively human shields for Tren de Aragua, and I don't agree with
what I'm asking, hold on, I want to make it clear. I know that Tren de Aragua and gangs and whatever, it's a catch-all to treat people however you want, to go in there and shred the Constitution or whatever else it is that you want to do. What I'm asking you is this. Do you think that children should have been zip-tied and pulled out of an apartment complex and traumatized like that? Yes or no?
I don't think children should be put in harm's way by transnational gangs.
Just answer the question. Yes or no? Do you think that children...
I don't accept the premise of your question.
I'm asking
the government's not putting children in harm's way. Tren de Aragua...
Real calm now. Real calm. Like
they're the ones putting children in harm's way.
Gentlemen and gentlemen, we have a responsibility for the way we treat people with the power that we have here in America. And we have a standard that we should treat human life with. And I'm asking you very clearly, concisely, should children be treated that way? Does Scott Jennings like that?
I don't accept the premise of your question.
All right, cool.
I don't believe that the premise of your question is accurate. I would ask you back. Should children be allowed to live in an apartment building with Tren de Aragua? Should the entire community of Chicago have to live with Tren de Aragua because they hide behind these children?
But here's the thing.
That's my question.
I think the answer to that is clear. No, they should not be put in harm's way. But the difference is in this situation is I don't want to be Tren de Aragua. I don't want my law enforcement to act like Tren de Aragua. That is the distinction.
Do you want to leave it? Do you just want to leave it and say, well, they have kids in there, let's just move on?
No, but can't law enforcement figure out a way? I don't think this is the first time children have been in an environment where dangerous people have been around them. And I'm most certain that in most of those circumstances, those children aren't zip tied and carried out like animals. What I am wondering is, okay, let's put this fact pattern on any other placement. Let's put it on a school, right? What if there was a gang member in a school? And by this calculation, it would seem like the children in the school, in order to get that one gang member or two gang members,
would get...
It's not one gang member. It's 37 people in an apartment.
Let's say there's five. It's a large apartment building. That's part of the fact pattern here. I mean, here's another one.
Okay, great. So with this logic, when there's another white school shooter, let's zip tie every white kid in the neighborhood just in case. How would you like that, Papi? Like, this is so ridiculous. By the way, I wouldn't want any white kid effing zip tied. That's absolutely insane. Hell no. But why are you okay with black or brown kids being zip tied? Like, obviously they cause no threat. They pose no threat. This guy is so disgusting. He said earlier to say Abby thinks that Tren de Aragua should be able to use kids as human shields. Like, so effing vile. You know Scott, she doesn't believe that. Like, and it's simple. He can't get himself to answer because, of course, he doesn't want this happening to his kids, but he's okay with it happening to black and brown kids. That's simply it. What else is the explanation here? The reason for this is obvious because Republicans, conservatives, have been brainwashed since children to believe black and brown people are inherently dangerous. That's just as simple as I can make it. And they just won't say it on TV because they will never be invited on again for being an outright racist. It's the only reason these people stammer. Scott is stammering, just can't answer simply. But behind closed door, best believe Scott Jennings answers very clearly.
From our reporting, tenants said it appears everyone in the building was detained by federal officers, including U.S. citizens. It was scary, said one, because I had never had a gun in my face. That person lives in the building. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me, did I have any warrants? I told them, no, I didn't. Fisher, this person says, she was handcuffed anyway before being released around 3 a.m. and was told anyone with outstanding warrants, even if it was unrelated to immigration, would not be released. So again, people live in apartment buildings all over this country.
I promise that.
Is that where
Wait a second.
Should I just go to an apartment building and hide?
Wait. I'm talking about the way that citizen of this country was treated. By the way, I just want to be clear. I think that everybody that's created in the image of God should be treated with respect. And I thought that part of the American ideal was that, but that's gone. I promise y'all will still be invited to Mar-a-Lago if you say that it is wrong that children were zip-tied and that American people, American citizens, were detained without any warrant or suspicion.
Briefly detained? In an effort to get 37 Trinidad members?
So tell me,
what you're suggesting is that no enforcement can take place.
Would you be okay being detained so that the gang members, would you be okay with your rights being violated and you be held until 3 a.m. with your family member not knowing why? Is that okay? Because that's not okay with me.
Everybody here seems to believe that if you're Trinidad Aragua, you can go hide in an apartment building, and because there are other people there, you just get to be left alone. That is not a reasonable enforcement position.
There's another option here, and it's actually an option that's utilized by law enforcement every single day in this country. When they are looking for violent people, they go look for those violent people. They do not subject the people around those violent people who have nothing to do with them with arrest, with guns in their faces, with being searched, with being zip-tied and handcuffed and detained. Every day in America, law enforcement does their jobs, and they don't do it like this. So why is suddenly this okay?
Every day in America, you're not necessarily dealing with the most violent people in the hemisphere.
Yes,
we're not.
That's
so
who is living in this way.
Scott, there are violent people who are right here in this country, American citizens. They are in gangs. They were born here. Their parents were born here. Their grandparents were born here.
Believe me, we know.
Those people are dealt with by law enforcement every day. Again, it's a real basic question. If you lived in an apartment building and there happened to be somebody who was guilty of a terrible crime in that building, and law enforcement barged in, guns blazing, and put every single person in that apartment building under arrest, you would be fine with that, including you and your family.
Not everybody is under arrest. They arrested 37 people. They arrested 37. You said everybody. It's not. It's 37 people.
This person was sleeping in their bed, and they were detained. They were put in handcuffs and detained until
Neither you nor I was there.
Neither
you nor I were there. But I know this. Now 37
you and your family,
violent people are now off the street.
Scott, you and your family, you are in an apartment building. You and your family, you would be fine with your liberty being held up, your kids, your wife, your children, being detained for any amount of time because somebody in that building was a criminal. You'd be fine with that?
You are vastly oversimplifying what's happening here. There are scores of illegal immigrants in the building.
I think sometimes we have to simplify things so that we actually understand what we're talking about. Because I do think that this is a problem now for the rest of the country. People are going about their lives, and they are not responsible for the crimes of other people. And yet, in this world in which ICE is operating like this, they are being detained for other people's crimes.
I see something just real quick.
Scott let the cat out of the bag when he was like, yeah, we know. What he was implying is that, yeah, because Abby was saying that we have criminals here, American-born criminals right here. And she's like, yeah, I know. Oh, Scott Jennings like, yeah, I know. What he's talking about there is black Americans born in the U.S. That's what he's referring to. He's disgusting. We've seen this whole act from Scott before. I'll show you that in a second. These guys see this stuff very simple. Building full of white people, not dangerous. Building full of black and brown people, very possibly dangerous, everyone in there. Even though the criminals might be on floor 2 or floor 5, everyone else. Do you see what they're doing here, right? And this kind of stuff is dangerous because you let them slide with this, they're gonna make this. They're gonna use this argument to keep going into black and brown neighborhood. Well, there's a gang there. We have to detain everyone in this whole neighborhood. There's a gang here. We have to detain everyone in this whole neighborhood. And then these same people who are okay with this garbage can't understand the distrust black and brown people have with law enforcement. So confused as to why that is. And you guys, you know what this moment with Scott reminds me of? Please pay attention to the parallels in this. DJ, hit that track.
Is the real question.
Yesterday, when he said that, he wasn't being sarcastic, he wasn't being hyperbolic. He was amplifying a conspiracy theory that I think you would agree puts a target on the back of Haitian immigrants, and that it is based on racism. Would you agree on that?
Anti-black racism will be more pointed.
Do you think that if there were 20,000 Scandinavians that had been sent to Springfield, people would be saying that they're eating cats and dogs and geese?
I'm not going to answer for
Why
him,
not?
for his memes or anything else. But I am
No, but I'm asking you, do you think that conspiracy is based on racism?
Because
I mean, it's an
because
I'm
not going to answer. I don't know. I don't know.
That was a long pause, Scott. I mean,
because I don't know the answer, and I'm not going to sit here and answer for somebody. I don't talk to Donald Trump about what the motivations are, and I don't answer to you either.
But Scott, what is the answer for you?
But the bottom line is,
Trying to give you.
Are we at all surprised at what we're seeing here by Scott? All right, let's get back to it.
Real quick. I'm 15 years old. I'm in my driveway, sitting down doing my homework. Legitimately, sitting down doing my homework in my driveway. Sitting down, the way we used to call it, maybe Native American style, I'll be woke about it. Cop rolls up, stand up, turn around. Handcuffed. 15. I'm like, what's going on? Pull me next to the car. Blah, blah, blah. Don't do anything. You're okay. Don't do anything. You're okay. I'm handcuffed. I'm sitting next to the car. Whole deal. Things get more dire as the seconds tick on, right? My dad ends up coming down the street. He sees things. He freaks out. Don't you know who this boy is? This boy's never done anything, blah, 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 blah. All of this happens. I'm upset. I'm mad, everything. The next day I go to the school. I talk to one of my teachers. This is a teacher that all I did was argue with him about. Dyed-in-the-wool conservative. Like he was a religion teacher. Right? A dyed-in-the-wool conservative. We argue every single day. The first thing he said to me is that shouldn't have happened to you. The first thing. As he then tried to tell me about the police and the hard job that the police have and all of that, the first thing that he said to me, I'll never forget it, is, I don't want you to think that anything that I'm about to say means that should have happened to you. He goes, that shouldn't have happened to you. Something has changed. Mm-hmm. And we need to get our arms around it real quick. Yeah, we do. Something has changed
there's
fundamentally.
A willingness to accept a whole lot of collateral violation of rights of anybody, whether you're American citizens or not, because there are many rights in this country that are in the Constitution that it doesn't matter if you're a citizen or not, you're still entitled to them. We're going to leave it there for that one. Coming up.
I mean, it's Trump. Ever since he came into the scene, he's like a plague. And guys, again, I just want to say, I feel bad as a Hispanic that clearly they are targeting our people, but black people are being caught in the middle of this. Like, they get caught in the middle of effing everything. Like, it's so disgusting. We knew this would happen. And like I said before, I appreciate, really, really appreciate all the black pundits that come out here and fight for my people every chance they get. And all the black people out there that stand by my people. You have my eternal loyalty. And best believe I'll always be in the front lines for your fight. I really feel bad for those kids. That just ain't right. That can change someone's mental, especially as someone that age. Like, Hispanics, I implore you, pay attention to who's fighting for us and with us on the same side, on the same battleground, shoulder to shoulder. It ain't the people with the little MAGA red hats. I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel, really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.